Okay. Okay, so we're going to start standing with our feet comfortably under our hips and find our alignment, right? So if you lift tall by tucking the chin or pulling the chin gently back toward the spine to lengthen the spine, and you let your tailbone drop and find your chest a little bit lifted, your sternum a little bit lifted, but pulling your rib cage slightly back so it's in line with your pelvis. It sounds more complicated than it is, right? But we just want to have that alignment without collapsing. So we have our spine lifted and our shoulders relaxed. So we're going to inhale, rise up onto the toes as we inhale, and exhale, lower down, and just breathe nice and full and deeply as you lift and lower with your arms or without your arms, but taking this time to breathe and balance. And taking that full inhale as we rise up and letting that full exhale bring us all the way back down, right? And then when your heels come down, staying in alignment, lift one knee up in front and hold. So keeping that lifted spine. See if you can balance here. Hold and breathe. And bring that foot down. Shift your weight and lift your other leg up in front and hold. And breathe. Focus on a point to help you balance. And go ahead and lower that leg down. And then we're just going to roll through our feet one at a time, bending the knee, right? So from heel all the way to the toes and back. Let your hips shift side to side as you do that. So roll all the way up and all the way back to the heel, shifting the hips, keeping your spine long, and then take it into a circle. So we'll add circling the hips as we roll through the foot, bending the knee. Moving all of our joints. And then the other direction. So feeling all those lower body joints moving all through the foot, through the knee, through the ankle, through the hips. Cracking might be happening too, like it is for me. Okay, and then bring yourself center, bring your arms out in front, palms down. Again, finding our alignment with our shoulders down, pull down away from our ears, rib cage over pelvis, tailbone gently tucked. Slowly lift your right arm. As you lift your arm, think of drawing your shoulder blade and your rib cage down away from your arm, right? You're not actually reaching your arm really, you're just lifting it and then bring it back. And the same thing with the left arm. So we're drawing our shoulder blade and our rib cage down away from our arm as it lifts and bring it back. So we want to keep them working so they're not glued together, right? Unstick your arm from your rib cage. So we lift the right arm and then bring it back and then lift the left arm. Keep the head lifted, make sure it doesn't drop forward. Good. And then we'll try both arms. So again, finding your alignment, focusing on our alignment as we bring our arms up slowly to the extent that they'll go up without changing our alignment. Feeling the shoulders draw down and then bring them back. Good. And then reach your arms forward, pulling your shoulders, but not the rest of you, right? So you're going to feel your shoulders stretch forward and then pull your shoulder blades together behind you and look up and just arching the upper back and the shoulders, right? So we hold everything else nice and still as we reach, feel a stretch in your upper back, and then pull the scapula together as you pull your arms a little bit back. Your elbows don't bend, right? And we're just doing a little arch and round of our upper back, lifting, and then pulling, think of sinking your sternum, right, as you reach your arms away from you. Good. And then coming back to neutral here. And we're going to do, sorry, I have to scratch. We're going to do a twist. So you're going to lengthen the spine, pull one elbow back, keeping your hips still. Just twist the torso and then reach forward. Pull the other elbow back and reach forward. So shoulders stay pulled down away from the ears. Our hips stay facing forward and we're twisting, right, our torso, the rib cage. Classic. And reach forward one more time. Pull back, you're following that elbow. And reach forward. Good, now shake it out, shake it out. Actually, just shake everything and kind of bounce your body around. Just give everything a shake. Good, really releasing everything. Your legs, your arms. All right, then bring your legs into a wider stance with the heels turned slightly in, toes slightly out. So feel like you're externally rotating the legs and sink into a little squat here. You might even use your hands to open, keep your knees open, right? And just kind of sink down, keep sinking down, and then bring the hands all the way down to the floor if you can, maybe pressing your elbows into your knees to open the hips, right? So just kind of squatting here. And then we're going to slowly straighten the legs and roll up. So let your arms relax, stack the spine all the way up. And then we'll come to the end of our mat or wherever you want to be. Take an inhale and then on our exhale, roll down one bone at a time, letting our arms take us down to the mat. We're just going to hang here. Bend and straighten the knees, relax the head and neck. And then we're going to stack our spine up. So you can let your knees be as bent as they need to be to help you as you tuck your pelvis under and slowly roll back up by stretching our back. And then inhale at the top and roll back down on the exhale. Peeling off of an invisible wall behind you, right? And then coming all the way down. And just hang here. We're going to walk our hands out into pike. Spread the fingers wide and lift the tailbone, right? So we can stretch our heels down. Release the head and neck. Letting the body move around a bit, shift around. And then just move your hands a little farther forward. We're going to just bend our knees to lower our knees down toward the mat, hover, and then press your hips back up. And then lower down and hover. And press the hips back up. And lower down and hover. And one more time, press the hips up. And go ahead and lower down and come all the way down to the knees and around to sitting and onto our back. So finding yourself on your back with your feet in line with your sits bones. My feet need to be kind of far away from my hips, but put your feet wherever you need to, right? I have to do that for my knee. So don't do what I do. Okay, relaxing on the mat. So we're going to find our neutral by feeling our whole rib cage connected to the mat, right? And your pelvis level, and you should have some kind of a small curvature in your low back. Everybody's different, but you should have a little space there. So you want that neutral. So get acquainted with that. Take a nice deep breath, and then as we exhale, we're going to draw our navel in toward our spine and up. So in and up. And as we do that, we're going to press our low back into the mat and we're going to curl our tailbone upward. Okay, so you feel all that engagement. And then you're going to stretch your tailbone long back to neutral as you inhale. Okay, so exhale, draw the navel in and up. Curl your tailbone up into a pelvic tilt. Inhale, stretch that tailbone back, coming into neutral, like you're lengthening your tailbone, but don't let your shoulders tense, right? Try to keep everything else relaxed. As you exhale, we're just pulling the belly in and a little bit up, and then stretching the tailbone long. Good. And this time, as we exhale, curl the tailbone up. We're going to continue to peel our spine off of the ground up into a bridge. And at the top of our bridge, we might adjust our feet. We want to pull the upper part of the rib cage down and press the pelvis up. Right? Relax the neck and shoulders. Good. And the next exhale, stretch the spine long, all the way back down. Hips come down last. Take an inhale. And again, exhale. Peel off the mat. At the top of our bridge, we're going to inhale and exhale one bone at a time back down. And inhale in neutral. Exhale up again. And at the top of our bridge, finding our upper ribs on the ground so we're level, pelvis pressing up. Open the knees on the inhale and bring them back on your exhale. So see if you can hold your pelvis still as you move your legs, right? Inhale, open. Exhale, close. That pelvis stays up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more. Open. Exhale, close. And then take an inhale here. Exhale down. One bone at a time. And relax your pelvis at the bottom. Let's reach our arms to the ceiling. So palms are facing, shoulders are heavy on the ground. And find your neutral, right? So checking in that the ribs are on the ground, your pelvis is level. Good. Inhale, holding that nice and still as you float your right knee up. Inhale that foot down. And then exhale, float your left knee up. Notice if you can hold your neutral position really easily when you do this, right? So keeping your whole rib cage on the ground. Exhale. You can think of pulling your low rib into the ground. Inhale the foot down. Exhale, float the foot up, float the leg up, and your shoulders stay relaxed. Inhale the foot down. Exhale the other leg up. Good. And just keep checking in that your rib cage is on the ground, you're in your neutral. And if you really want to challenge yourself, you can try picking up the pace as long as you can hold your neutral position and keep your shoulders relaxed. Right? So we're pretty strong. We should be able to do that, right? Exhale. And then go ahead and bring both knees up. Hug your knees and take a moment to just relax your body. Just rock around. And then we'll bring our feet back down on the mat. Good. And then bring your arms over your head, clasp your hands behind the head, and notice that if you lengthen and lift your elbows a little bit, you'll have your rib cage more easily pressing into the ground, right? So find your neutral here and inhale. As you exhale, keeping that neutral pelvis as we lift up on our exhale. And then inhale, lie back down. Good. And exhale up again, and holding our spine, our pelvis in neutral. Inhale, lower down. Good. Exhale, press up. Stay here. Float your left knee up. Float your right knee up. Put your left foot down. Put your right foot down. Lie back down. Good. Exhale up. Float your right leg up. Left leg floats up. Put your right foot back down. Left foot back down. And lie back down. So we're holding our pelvis, our spine in neutral the whole time. Exhale up again. Left leg lifts, right leg lifts. Left foot goes down, right foot goes down, and lie back down. Good. One more. Exhale up. Right leg lifts, left leg lifts. Right foot goes down, left foot goes down, and lie back down. Inhale your left knee up. Exhale, press your head and shoulders up, extend that left knee, that left leg long. Again, holding your neutral. Lie down as you bend and lay down. Exhale, extend the leg. So we're going to move the leg, move our shoulders and head as we hold our neutral pelvis. Exhale, stretch out. Inhale, back down. This time we're going to exhale, stretch out. As we press up, we're going to keep our head and shoulders up. Move that knee in and stretch it out and pull it in and stretch it out, checking that you're holding your pelvis nice and still and neutral. Good. Last one. And then bending that knee, put your foot down, lie your head and shoulders down. Inhale, right knee floats up. Exhale, curl up and extend that right leg long, whatever angle it's at. Okay, bend and lie back down. Exhale, whatever angle your leg is. It lower? Is it higher? It doesn't matter. Lie back down. Whatever keeps your pelvis in the right place. Exhale up. Stay up. Bend the knee and extend. Bend the knee and extend. Does this side feel as stable as the other side? Just notice that, right? For me, it's different because I'm pretty cattywampus on both sides. Okay, one more. And then next time you bend, put your foot down on the ground, lie back down. Take a moment to breathe. And then we're going to add the rotation. Inhale, lift your left leg. Knee up in your neutral. Exhale, press up and turn to the left. Stay up as you face your leg, extending your left leg long. And then as we exhale, we bring the knee in and we turn and look over our left elbow, right? Facing the leg as you stretch out and bring it back as you rotate. Hold your pelvis steady in neutral as you move the leg and rotate your body, your torso, your shoulders, right? This time you pull in. One more time you stretch out. And then bring that knee in, put your foot down, lie down. Inhale, right knee up, find your neutral. Exhale, press up, turn to the right, sorry. I almost did it wrong. And then turn to face your leg as you stretch that leg long. And then pull the knee in and rotate. And stretch it out as you look at your leg. Pull it in and rotate. And stretch it out. Check your pelvis and your spine and your ribs. Breathe. You can breathe however you want as long as you're breathing. Good. One more. This time when we stretch it out, we bend the knee, put your foot down on the ground, and lie your head and shoulders all the way down. Go ahead and release your hands from behind your head. Lay them on the ground out from your shoulders. Sway your legs over to the left and relax them. Shoulder stays on the ground. And then lift the legs, sway them to the right, keeping our left shoulder on the ground. And again, sway them over to the left. And take them over to the right. This time we're going to take them over to the left and straighten your right leg on top of your left leg. So knees are lined up. Just extra little stretch there. Go ahead and bend the knee, lift the legs, and take them over to the right. Extend that left leg long on top of your right leg. Feeling your left shoulder on the ground. And bend and bring the knees back up. So we're going to keep our arms here. Bring your legs one at a time up to tabletop. Bring your legs together and take them over to the side on your inhale. Exhale them back up and over to the other side. And exhale them up, keeping our legs tight together. Inhale to the side and exhale out. And inhale to the side and exhale up. And then we're going to do from the top here, you're going to imagine that you're pressing a circle into the ground with your sacrum. So pull your knees towards you a bit and then take them over to the right and bring them away from you over to the left and back in towards you. And actually keep going in the same circle, same direction. So we'll go to the right a few times and just feel like you're pressing a circle with your sacrum into the ground, and then reverse your circle. Go the other direction a few times. You're giving your low back a little massage. Right? Good. And then when you come back to center, you can straighten your legs, but you don't have to. You can keep them bent. You can keep them as bent as you want. And now take them to one side and exhale them back and take them to the other side. Exhale them back. Right, side to side. We're adding more weight if we have our legs straight. Using your breath. And then at the top, we'll do the same thing. Bring your legs towards you and then drawing a circle to the right and around and back around to the left and up and to the right. So same direction with your legs straight or straighter if you can. And just feeling that circle that we're pressing into the ground with our back. Right? Should feel pretty good on your back, I would think. And then we're going to, at the top, reverse our circle, go the other direction. And your circle can be small, it can be bigger, whatever size, but you just want to feel that circle being pressed into the ground, right? You want to feel your low back getting a massage. Good. And then when you come to center, we're going to cross our ankles. So our knees are going to be bent to whatever extent is comfortable for you. Go ahead and slide your arms down closer towards your hips. And then you're just going to focus on the low belly by bringing your legs towards your head and then lifting a little bit up off the ground and then come back down, right? So it's a little hip hop. Bring your legs toward your head, lift up, and you can use your arms pressing into the ground Just try not to let your neck get tense or strained, right? So you're just trying to lift your hips using your low belly muscles, right? Your pelvic floor, low belly. A little lift up and then bring it back. Lift up and bring it back. Yeah. Again, check in with your neck, that you're not straining your neck. You're keeping it down here in the hips and the low belly. It can be a very small lift. And you get a nice stretch in your low back, hopefully. All right, you can relax. Go ahead and hug your knees. Relax your body. And then we're going to put our left foot on the ground. I'm moving my mat all over the place. And then holding behind your right leg with your hands, find your neutral spine. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine is the same thing. Find your rib cage on the ground level. See if you can straighten your left leg. And we're going to straighten and bend our right leg, holding our neutral position, right? So holding underneath your knee, behind your thigh, straighten the leg, and then bend it. And straighten the leg, keeping your pelvis nice and steady. Good. Really check in to see if your pelvis is in neutral. Yeah, and the next time you straighten it, keep it straight, holding onto your leg. Move your foot. So flexing, pointing. So you don't, we want to hold that neutral. We're not going to tilt our tailbone up yet. Okay, so hold that neutral. Hold onto your leg, get as straight as you can, and just move your foot. Rib cage is on the ground. We got a little curvature of our low back. I'm moving my foot. All right, and then what we're going to do here is you're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to curl your tailbone up, which will allow you to pull your leg towards your head more. And then you're going to stretch your tailbone back down into neutral, keeping your leg up. So we're doing the same thing with our leg in the air, right? So exhale, curl the tailbone upward, and you feel like you can really stretch your leg towards your head. And then you inhale, stretch your tailbone back down, which your leg brings your leg away from you. Okay, exhale, curl up. Inhale, stretch that tailbone down. So we're doing a pelvic tilt with our leg up, getting a good stretch. And then when you come back to your neutral, release your arms out from your shoulders. Take your leg across your body. Get it as straight as you can. Reaching through that leg so you get a good stretch. And lift it back up. And open out to the side, to the right, reaching for your hand. And lift it up. And again, across the body, reaching towards your opposite hand. And lift up. And open. You don't have to worry so much about your neutral position when you're doing this. It's okay to release that. And lift up. And again, take it across the body, reaching for that hand. And lift up. And this time, when we open that leg out, we're going to put our left hand on our left hip bone. So what we're going to do is we're going to press that left hip down and see how far our right leg goes out to the side. Put your right hand underneath your thigh, your knee, kind of like where you were before, and just bend and straighten that leg in this position, right? So you're just going to let your knee bend, keep your left hip down, straighten the leg, and bend and straighten. You should feel a really good stretch in your inner thigh. Good. And then when you bend it this time, go ahead and bring your knee back to center. give it a little stretch, pull it in to your chest, to your shoulder, whatever feels good to you. And then we'll put that foot down and we're going to draw our left leg up to the ceiling, hold behind the thigh, find neutral spine, find our neutral pelvis. Stretch your right leg down the mat as much as it will go. And bend and straighten the leg in neutral. Find your rib cage down, your pelvis level, little curve in your low back as you bend and straighten the leg. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it up there. Move your foot. Reaching through, rolling through your foot, flexing and pointing, moving your ankle. Again, keeping our neutral spine. Trying to get your leg as straight as you can, right, in this position, can be challenging with the neutral. Okay, and then we're going to inhale. On our exhale, curl the tailbone up, pull your leg towards your head more, and then stretch that tailbone long to come back to neutral. Exhale, curl up, pull the leg towards you. Inhale, stretch it back. Tailbone down. Okay, so keep doing a pelvic tilt with this leg. Stretch, curl up, stretch back down, curl up, stretch back down, and then release your arms out from your shoulders. Again, you don't have to worry so much about the neutral here if you don't want to. Take your leg across, reaching for that hand, opposite hand, and lift it up. And then open out, reaching for the same side hand, and lift it up and across, and lift it up and open, and lift it up, using your breath. One more time across, really reach for that hand, and lift up. And then opening out to the side, put your right hand on your right hip to hold that hip down. Grab your butt behind your left thigh or knee area with your supporting left arm here. You're just going to bend and extend. Now your leg may be pretty high up, depending on how open your hips are, but just try to keep that right hip down and bend and straighten the knee. Right, extend. Yeah. And then bending that knee, we'll pull it in towards us, give it a little stretch. Stretch your legs out, stretch your arms over your head, flexing your feet. Just do a big side to side stretch, right? Reaching through one side and the other. Kind of stretching our sides, lengthening. Feels good in the shoulders, hopefully, and the hips. And then go ahead and bend your knees, bring your feet on the mat, sweep your arms along the ground, curl up and roll up by holding onto your legs or just reaching for your feet. Come up to sitting, and we'll just sit with our legs extended, lift our sits bones, bringing the pelvis forward, relaxing over the legs. And you can do whatever feels good to you to give your legs a stretch or your spine a stretch, right? I should say whatever is doable. Also. Yeah, and then go ahead and bring your legs into that diamond, right? So the feet are together, close together, and the legs are in a loose bend. And we'll stretch over the legs. So just reaching Arms forward. You can let your hips and your legs relax. Then we'll lift up and just a little, holding our hips still, a little turn toward one knee, and you're just going to come forward, head toward that knee, and keep your pelvis still as you stretch to the side. And then lift up and take it to the other side. So just a little rotation over to that side. Good. And go ahead and press back up. And then we'll lift our knees and bring them into a loose bend so that you can sit tall. And if it's hard on your quads, you can also just kind of let your knees flop open so it's like that loose diamond. You can do that if you want, but sit tall with your legs in front of you. And then we're going to find our alignment, right? As we bring our arms forward, palms down, and just lift your right arm up as you draw your shoulder blade down away from your arm. Ribs stay in, and then release and lift your left arm up. So we feel our shoulders moving away from our arm and bring it forward. And then both arms, finding your shoulder blades drawing down, rib cage pulling in as you lift and bring them forward. And then bring your hands behind your head or behind your ear somewhere, depending on how you don't want to pull your rib cage. So keep your alignment. Just put your hands here somewhere. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, center, grow tall. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, grow tall. Exhale, twist. So your twist won't be that big. You want to keep your alignment, right? Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And come back to center. Release your arms. And then you're going to bring your knees in a, the bent position here with your knees in line with your hips. We're going to do genie arms. So just cross your forearms, lift as you inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to curl the tailbone under, pull the navel in and up. So we create that C curve, as it's called in Pilates. Good. Relax your shoulders and bring one knee towards your elbow and bring the foot away and the other knee. So we're holding this nice curvature of our low back as we move our legs toward our arms. Exhale. Shoulders relaxed. All right, last one. And then go ahead and bring yourself up. You might want to switch your arms because that'll feel weird, right? Okay. Inhale, exhale, curl the tailbone under, pull the navel in and up as we round our low back. And now we'll add the rotation of the twist. So you're going to twist to the left as you lift your left knee. Come center, twist to the right as you lift your right knee. Come center. We're twisting our torso. Our legs go in that same straight line up and away, up and down. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Good. Last one. Come center and lift back up and release your arms. Bend the legs out in front. We're going to do a couple of full roll-ups if you can. We're going to focus on reaching through our legs, lengthening our legs away from our spine. So legs are going to be straight. feet flexed, and you can even use your hands. So you're going to inhale tall. And as we exhale, I like to use my hands because you can just kind of push your legs down the mat as you stretch your spine long onto the mat. You want to think of reaching through the heels as you lie your spine down, right? And then at the bottom, take a nice deep breath. Start your roll up. Same thing. You're reaching through your heels, reaching and lengthening the legs as you come up. And then when you come up, you can just round over your legs and stretch for your feet. So I'll just do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. If you don't want to go all the way back, you don't have to. You can just go halfway or part way, right? And you can do something with your arms if you want. Inhale, but I want to focus on lengthening the legs away from the spine. And then take a stretch. One more time. 3 is a good number. Okay, inhale, exhale, lengthen through the feet. Focus on the lengthening. Good. And then taking a break at the bottom, and we inhale. Lengthen to come back up. And then take a stretch over your legs. All right, and then we're going to be coming onto one side after I fix my mat. Okay, so lying on our arm, we're going to have our legs in a loose bend with the knees stacked, the hips stacked, right? Lie down. You can always have a pillow under your head when you're lying on your side, you know, if you ever want to do that. So we can lift our waist to find our alignment. Make sure your torso is straight. Lift your waist a little bit. Actually put your top hand on your hip so that you can keep it from hiking up like that, right? So keep it down and start by opening that knee and closing it. So inhale to open, exhale to close, to open, exhale to close. Breathe. Now we're going to lift the whole leg up. Open as much as you can without hiking the hip and close, right? So that's important. We want to keep that alignment. It's not about how high your leg goes. And open. All right, and this time we're going to extend. When you close, you're going to extend that top leg, lift it up as high as it goes without you hiking your hip, lower it and bend it in, right? So just extend, lift, lower, and in, keeping your waist lifted, keeping your hips in alignment. Lengthen, lift, lower, and in. Lift and in. So again, it's not how high you lift, but you just find what it is, what amount you can lift. All right, and then next time you bring your leg in, just go ahead and let it relax. Let's take our top hand and put it on the ground in front of us. We're gonna straighten our legs together, keep them together, keep your alignment, keep your waist lifted. Inhale, exhale, float the legs up and float the head up. Again, without letting your waist go into the ground. Try that, right? Inhale, lower. Exhale, you won't lift as high, but just try that. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. It's just a little different, right? Inhale, lower. And actually, you don't have to lift your head. It's just up to you. It might be too much for your neck, right? All right, and then just go ahead and relax your legs. Let them bend if they want to a little bit. And then we'll use our top hand to press ourselves up, sliding your bottom arm towards you and sliding it back out, right? So just one arm push up, right? Press up and lower down. And press up and lower down. Last one. Just gonna press up, bring your elbow under you, and actually just go ahead and come all the way up and bring your legs into some sort of a bent knee position. I have to straighten this leg. Take a side bend. My knee won't let me bend it. Take a side bend here. You might want to just turn and look down, kind of get an extra little stretch under your shoulder. Good, and lift up. Cross your top leg over, and just take a moment to do a little hip stretch there. So if you want to stack your legs or do a figure four, anything that feels good to you to give your hip a stretch. All right, and then we're going to come to our other side. Again, the knees are lined up, legs in about a half bend, torso's in a straight line, and we're going to lift our waist. Put your hand here so we can monitor your hip, and you're just going to open on the inhale and close. Open and close. And then we'll lift our whole leg up as high as we can without the hip hiking up, and close. Open and close. Lift and lower. And then we're going to extend the leg, lift it, lower it, and bring it back. Extend, lift, moving from our stable center, right? Everything. Always thinking too, if you can remember, sinking the navel on the exhale, relaxing your belly on the inhale. Good, and breathe. Breathe deep. All right, last one. And then you can go ahead and relax your legs. Take your top hand off of your hip if you want. Straighten your legs long, keep them glued together. See if you can keep your waist lifted so we keep that alignment as we lift our legs up. And then if you want, you can also lift your head, but like I said, you don't have to. Inhale, lower. Exhale, float the legs, maybe the head. Inhale, lower. So we don't normally do this with a neutral spine, with neutral pelvis. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. Last time, and then when you lower down, you can let your knees relax, your legs relaxed, and you're going to press up. Let your arms slide towards you and back out. So one arm push up, slide in, and slide out. In and slide out. One arm push-ups better than two arm push-ups, right? Me. And next time we press up, go ahead and bring yourself all the way up to sitting and take a side stretch. Your legs wherever they need to be. You might like to just kind of turn to look down and get a little extra stretch in the shoulder. And then we'll take a moment to stretch our hip. On that side. So feeling the stretch Doesn't matter what you do as long as you feel that stretch. All right, and then we're going to come on to our all fours. You can, if you're able. So again, finding neutral in on your all fours, a little bit different, challenging, right? To find your neutral. Just feel like your pelvis is level, right? Inhale here. And then as you exhale, curl your tailbone under, letting your low back round, pull the navel in toward your spine. And then on the inhale, we're going to extend the spine out and kind of lift a little bit as you lift your tailbone. And then on the exhale, curl the tailbone under, pull the navel in toward the spine to round the low back mainly, but as much as you want to round your back. And then inhaling, extending that tailbone out and looking a little bit forward and up. Good. So curling under one more time. And extending that spine long. And then come to your neutral. Should be a little easier to find maybe. Okay, so we're going to hold our spine nice and still, our pelvis still. Lift your left hand off the ground. So float that left hand up. Notice that challenge, right? And just moving our arm, we're going to pull our elbow back a little bit, and then we're going to reach our arm forward and just pull it back. And just move your arm in this position, holding everything still and steady. Move. Yeah. Notice what happens. And then bring that hand down. We'll switch to the right arm. And again, same thing. You're going to hold yourself still, move your arm in and back. So reach out and pull it back. Reach out and pull it back. And then put that hand down. And then extend your leg in the same way that you just did your arm. In other words, we're going to reach our leg, one leg back, lift it a little bit and pull it in. And reach it back and hold everything still as we reach and lift the same side leg. So pull it in and stretch it back. And draw it back into the mat and then reach it back. And then switch. So your other leg is moving out from your center. Right, pull it in, reach it back, in, holding still in your center. In, reach it back. Good, and then bring your knee to the mat. And now we're gonna keep our neutral. We're just gonna rock our body forward and back without letting our spine change. So you go a little bit past your hands, you get towards your heels. A little past your hands and back toward the heel. Try not to let your pelvis change position. And then we're going to challenge that if you want, it's optional, by going into plank position. Bring your feet back, your legs straight. Now bend your knees and press your hips back toward your heels and then stretch back out. Bend, pull your hips back. And this is called jackrabbit. So think of a jackrabbit. You pull back and then you take off. But you don't have to do this in plank. You can do it with your knees on the mat if you prefer. All right, and then bring your knees down. Stretch back to your heels. Arms out in front if you can. We're going to come onto our belly. Just bring your elbows under your shoulders for start. And then we're gonna let our arms be our hands or forearms be stacked and rest our forehead on our hand. And let's have our left hand on top. And we're going to find our neutral, press your front of your pelvis into the ground, pull the navel in, feel like you're stretching your tailbone toward your feet. Okay, so basically that's our neutral. So we're gonna inhale, and then as we exhale, we're gonna press in this position, hold that alignment, lengthen and lift your left leg, and just float your head up off of your hands, and then lower back down. And then on your exhale, pulling the belly in, pressing pubic bone into the ground as you reach and lift your right leg and float your head. So think of really lengthening the tailbone, lengthening the leg, right? Alternating. This is really good for your low back, particularly. Okay, so lengthen. Good. And then we're going to stay on the right leg, your head and chest up. As you lengthen and lift your right leg, extend your left arm out in front overhead and keep your head lifted, bend the elbow, lift the leg and reach the arm. So focusing on pressing our front of our hip into the ground, pulling our navel in, we're reaching out from our center, left arm, right leg, reach, right? Reach. Reach. Good. And then relax with your hands, right hand on top. Take a moment, and then we're going to press head and shoulders up. Pull your belly in, find your alignment. As you float and lift your left leg, reach your right arm out. Bend it as the leg lowers. Reach and return. Reach and return. Reach. So keep pressing the front of your pelvis into the ground, pulling the navel in, reaching your tailbone towards your feet, right as you move. Reach. Good. And then when you return, relax your head, relax your legs. And we're going to bring our arms out and reach them back by our side. So you're just going to have your arms by your side here. And we'll do the same thing with the alignment, only our arms will be here, right? So we'll pull the belly in, pressing the pubic bone to the ground, reach and lift up into dart. So you're reaching for your feet, you're looking down, lifting your head and shoulders and chest off the ground, and hold. Called dart. It's locust pose in yoga, right? And then relax for a moment. And then again, pull the belly in, press pubic bone into the ground, reach and lift up a little bit, loading off the ground. Then we're going to bring our arms out from our shoulders, bend the elbows, pull them in towards your waist, draw the shoulders down, and hover for a moment, and lower down. And then just doing swan a few times, so you don't have to worry about the neutral position. You're just going to lengthen out and up and press into the hands. And your hands can be wherever they want to need to be, and lower back down. So they might need to be farther forward. Mine do. And just come up and down a few times into extension, right? So out and up and lower back down and out and up and lower back down. And then this time we'll go ahead and continue all the way up to our knees. We'll stretch back to our heels, or whatever you need to do to stretch your back, right? So All right. And then whenever you feel like your back has had a good enough stretch, you can come up and all we have time for. So thank you all for coming. I'm gonna hit the button here.